right? He has filed his written communication in Form 2. So as I mentioned, Form 2 is for providing a consent whenever you are being proposed as an IRP, could be under Section 7, 9, or 10. And Form AA comes when you are proposed to be appointed as a RP, right? So accordingly, they have given all this information. Now, what happens is the moment the order came on 9th of September, right? And if I have to go back and look at the public announcement, this is the public announcement for PAN Card Club. So here you can see PAN Card Club, right? And Rajesh Seth has been appointed as IRP. The insolvency commencement date is 9th of September. This is very important to know. The day when the order is declared, that is the ICD, insolvency commencement date. This is the most important date because basis this becomes the effective date basis which you take all the decisions. For example, valuation, maybe your balance sheet requirements, if there is any forex, either any foreign currency. So as specific on ICD, you have to convert that into Indian currency. And if you see, the public announcement was made on 12th of September. So 9th to 12th. So it is always 3 days. And if you look at the regulation, it is immediately, right? So usually within 3 days, the IRP has to make a public announcement. Yeah, immediately means not later than 3 days from the date of his appointment. The public announcement referred to be in Form A, which we just saw. It is Form A. It is published in one English, one regional language newspaper with wide circulation in the location of registered office and principal office. So in this case, we actually did in Financial Express, Business Standard in Hindi. Then there were a lot of local papers in Maharashtra in Marathi that also it was publishing. It is important to note that they should be always at the location of the registered office and the principal office. So for example, in this case, it was Mumbai. So obviously it will be one which is highest in circulation in Mumbai and Maharashtra, right? And if any, the corporate data or any other location where in the opinion of the IRP, so decision has to be taken by the IRP. The corporate data conducts material business operation. So he can take a call if there is a material business operations, let's say somewhere in Delhi or maybe in South. Accordingly, he can decide and publish in those newspaper on the website of the CR of the corporate data. So I just want to show you one example here. What is penalty if he fails to do in 3 days? So I think it. I don't know if there is any specific penalty, Vansal, but eventually that doesn't reflect well, right? If there is no specific penalty, but it delays the process, right? Then IRP will always be questioned that it reflects bad on his professionalism. So this is very important. The reason being, the claims have to come within 14 days. So if the moment IRP gets delayed, eventually the creditors will get less time to put their claim. That is one part. Also, what happens is that since overall, if you see the CIRP, that is a time-bound process. So that is why they have put it very strict that it should be as soon as possible. CIRP 7 from 5. Sorry, Vinayakanji, I'm not able to understand your question. Okay, so this was about the newspapers on the website. So I'll just show you one website here. This is Raghulila Builders Private Limited. Okay. Now, this company went into CIRP in October 21, 2021, and this is their own website. So the moment they went on website, the moment they were under CIRP on the website, this is the information which has to be posted, which we just saw in the regulation. So all the possible information about what is the registration number, who's the IP here, or what is the registered office, and so on. And you can see there is a specific email ID for correspondence for claims, right? And this being a real estate company, the financial creditors obviously will be your home buyers, right? And they can submit proof of claims electronic means only. So I'll cover this point recently I came across a very interesting situation, which I'll cover in some time. Now, if you see in this download forms for the claim, so they are made very specific, who are, what type of creators and what form they can download. Then comes the CIRP announcement. So everything is mentioned in the on the website. So this is a requirement, and IRP has to ensure all this. Claims of the creators. So for example, if I click this financial creators, you would see all the claims received by the RP so far, everything is updated. So the claimed amount, right? What is the admitted amount? So there is a difference. Like if the claim amount was approximately, here it is what? 2,137 crores, admitted is 1,871 crores, right? Under verification, the balance are under verification. So as and when the claims come, the resolution professional needs to keep this updated. And this has to be updated on the website of the corporate data. So all the information is available over here. Okay. On the website of corporate data, on the website, if any, does it by the board. Now I'll show you one more interesting part here. If you go to the website of IBBI, right? And there is something called public announcement, right? If you just search for IBBI public announcement, you would see any company or any CD for that matter, which has gone under this thing, CIRP. So that will get listed. For example, PAN card clubs, which I just mentioned to you. So there it was, the date of announcement is 12th of September 2022 and last date of submission. So this, you can see the public announcement here. So all the public announcement are also uploaded on IBBI website. Okay. Now, the public announcement should state where the forms can be downloaded from. Okay, so that is very, very important. Like I show you, any time period for updation of IRP. Sorry, what is the meaning of any time period? I am sorry, not able to follow the question. Updation of IRP. I couldn't follow that. Maybe if you can be a little more specific, Ramya ji, it will help. I'll be able to answer. Okay. Now, the public announcement should very specifically state where the claim forms can be downloaded or obtained. Now, in case of PAN cards, which I had just showed it to you, in that case, I'll just tell you that it was done so systematically. Let me just show you this. This is PAN card club. This is a CIRP order, public announcement, AR. Then there is a specific online way to submit the form, right? And also what they've done is they have created a YouTube video. Why? Because a lot of financial creators or investors, they are actually in the remote area of the Maharashtra state. And many of them, maybe they are not literate enough. They are farmers or maybe doing blue collar jobs that way. So they will not have any idea about how to update the claim form. So in this case, they had made a special effort that they can actually read or look at the video. Now this video is right now in English and Hindi, and there are videos which are getting uploaded in Marathi also because most of them are from Maharashtra. So this is how they have taken the effort so that the financial creators are able to upload the form properly or submit their claims properly, right? Offer choice of 3 insolvency professionals AR. I think we saw that. Provide the last date of submission of proof of claim, which shall be 14 days from the date of appointment of IRP. Now, this is important, right? It says 14 days from the date of appointment of IRP. So can anyone tell me what is the date of appointment of IRP? Anybody? You can put it on a chat box also. Same data CRP. Application acceptance. Okay, application for CRP acceptance in the first meeting of COC. Okay, when confirmed by AA, order of AA. Okay, I think most of you are right. So just within 3 days of CRP announcement, no. So the right answer would be the day of the order. In this case, like PAN cards example, which I showed you, 9th of September was the date of order, right? That date is the appointment of the IRP, that date itself. So obviously, if that date plus 14 days, within the 14 days period, IRP has to ensure that he tries to gather as many claims as possible. The applicant shall bear the expenses of public announcement, which may be reimbursed by COC to the extent it ratifies. Now, this is very important. And this, I had this exact question in my exam as part of the case study. So they had given a long case study, 1.5 page case study. They had mentioned the applicant name and blah, blah, lot of things. So the question was, who will bear the expenses of the public announcement? So I'll just give you a practical aspect over here. Let's say, for example, I am an operational creator, like I have provided some goods and services to a corporate data. Okay. Now I have my amount, which is due, which is more than 1 crore rupees, has been pending, for a long time. So obviously under section 8, I'll try to send a notice. Then I'll try to send a demand notice also. If nothing happens, then I will file a CIRP in section 9, right, against the corporate data. Now, in this case, who is the applicant? It is me, the operational creator. So maybe I might propose the name of the operation IRP, or maybe it will get appointed by the educating authority. But I, as an applicant, will have to bear the expenses of the public announcement. So the way it works is that the applicant submits the application to the educating authority, and assuming two situations, he has proposed the name of the IRP or he has not. Let's say if he has proposed the name of the IRP, the applicant will pay the money to IRP to do the public announcement, because there is, from the day one itself, the expenses will start. So IRP can always seek that money from the applicant till the time COC is formed. Okay. Second situation, the applicant has not proposed name of any IRP. In that case, the educating authority, based on the impaneled IPs, it will appoint, obviously with the consent of the board. And then nowadays, the practice is that the educating authority is asking the applicant to deposit a certain amount. So as a trend, they are asking to deposit 2 lakh rupees as of now, in a practical perspective. So they deposit 2 lakh rupees, and that 2 lakh rupees goes to the IRP. IRP spends the money in public announcement and whatever other expenses he needs to do. Then he submits the entire account to the COC, right? COC ratifies, basically COC approves. So whether that expenses by IRP, if COC approves, that money goes back to the applicant. If it doesn't, then it will be applicant's expenses. So from exam point of view, always remember that all the public announcement and initial expenses will be borne by the applicant, and it will be ratified by the COC. Okay, now moving to the claims part. So this is a very, very important topic, and expect at least 3 to 5 marks on this claims only. Now, in this case, it is proof of claims, right? So as you know, there are different types of creditors. There could be operational, financial, there could be workmen, employees. So every creditor has a specific form, correct? If I can go back here, yeah, if you see, these are different forms. Yeah, claim by financial creditor, form CA, this is class. Financial creditor, form C. Operational creditors, form B, and this is other than employee. If it is employee, D. If there is authorized representative of the employee workman, that is E, and anybody else not part of any of the above categories, it will be form F. So there are different forms. So depending on who is claiming, so it's very important how do you submit the form, right? I'll give you a very practical example, which I was struggling today. So being an authorized representative for PAN cards, I'm getting a lot of calls from these financial creators. Now, there are people sitting in remote villages in Maharashtra. They don't have access to internet still. They don't use any smartphones. Now, how will they submit, right? So in case of financial creators, it is very, very important to submit all the forms electronically. You fill the form, physically, but you have to submit electronically through a mail or maybe through any other mode, but it has to be electronically. It can't be by post. And if I have to show you this, if you see this claim submission form is only specifically for financial creditors only. So because there are 51 lakh financial creditors, right? So they have to submit. Imagine managing 51 lakh, example, 51 lakh claims in physical form. It is impossible task. Imagine the time it will take. So that is why electronic form is very, very important in case of financial creditors. Now, each of the creditors will have different ways. Let's look at each one of them. So first is your operational creditors, which is other than workman and employee. So they can submit claim with proof by post, by electronic means in Form B. Now, remember, from exam point of view, you should know the mode of submission of the claim. So this is in person, post, and electronic means. There would be a 1-mark MCQ, whether the form submitted by operational creditor or let's say a financial creditor by person is valid or not. So financial creditor, no, but operational creditor has an option to submit any of these three modes, Form B, right? Provided such persons may submit supplementary documents or clarifications in support of the claim form. So in this case, any claim form has to have attached with all the possible documents, right? For example, in the PAN card case now, there is an agent who has been acting as an agent for different investors. So if he is going to do a submission for those claims, there has to be supplementary documents for each and every financial creditor, right? So everything should be supplemented. The membership number, the bank account details, the receipt, everything. So those supplementary documents are very, very important. And these would help the IRP to decide whether he needs to admit the claim or not. Existence of debt due to the operational creditor. Now, these are kind of questions which may come in the exam, that how exactly would you prove that there was a debt to the operational creditor? So records available with the information utility. I hope by now you all would have a fair idea about what exactly is an IU, but this is a very important part of the overall, like one of the pillars of IBC, where now, at least for financial creditors, all the information or the debt-related, default-related information goes to the IU, and that has to be verified. So if there is a record available with IU, then it is accepted as a valid record. Other than that, contract for supply of goods and services, because it is an operational creditor. Invoice demanding payment, obviously, if it was pending, so the supplier of goods or services was always demand payment, right? Order of court or tribunal that has executed upon the non-payment, if there is any specific case which has been filed against the CD and there is a court order. Financial accounts. These things can be used as a relevant documents also. Now, claim by financial creditors. So, Gupta sir, before I proceed, so since we have time till 8 o'clock, should we stop here to take questions, or what do you suggest, sir?
Yes, sir. It is better. It is better if we take questions.
Okay. So maybe then I'll stop here. We completed regulations 7. So back to the participants if they want to ask any questions. In the PAN card, the applicant is all the financial creditors. So if I have to show you the order, one second. Yeah, this is the order. Right. If you see Mr. Nitin, Suresh Sadgare, and 99 others, these are the applicants. Right? They are the one who have submitted. They are the financial creditors and also petitioners. They are the applicants. It is a CRP under Section 7.
Cost of public announcement has to be borne by Nitin and others, and it will be reimbursed later on to them.
That is correct. That is correct.
Right.
Sir, cost may or may not be reimbursed. Is it mandatory to reimburse or may not be reimbursed?
See, practically things are a little, I mean, they have now streamlined to a large extent, because initially what was happening is that COC, now it happened in my case itself. So where I was getting appointed as an RP, I was replacing the IRP. Court Educating Authority had already given it was a Section 9 case where court had asked the OC to submit 2 lakhs to the IRP for doing all the necessary initial expenses, including public announcement. The moment COC came in place, now COC is formed by financial creditors. Applicant is operational creditors. Obviously, if COC as a financial creditor, they will take a call. In some cases, they will say, first, let the operational creditor deposit 2 lakh rupees, then we will approve it. तब तक हम पैसा क्यों देंगे उनको? तो ऐसा situation होता है. In such cases, normally what IP does is, IRP, he always goes back to the educating authority, submits a claim that OC is not paying. Then educating authority gives an order to the OC again, that please deposit the 2 lakh rupees within so and so period. Otherwise, there will be specific action taken. So there are some situations where the amount may not be paid off also.
One question: if claim is not filed and a resolution plan is approved and it failed, and then the company went into liquidation, can one file his claim in liquidation process if it is not filed in the first one?
So, sir, I'll just slightly tweak your question. You said a resolution plan is approved. I think if it is approved, there is a specific case law, right? If I'm not wrong, that is case law for Tata's. I'm not able to read it.
But he's saying, sir, Prakashji is saying plan was first approved, then there was problem in implementation, and then liquidation order was passed.
Okay,
I think he's pointing to that, because
Achha.
liquidation will come only when there is a problem with the resolution plan.
Correct, correct. So in this case, there is a very specific law which says that the moment resolution plan is approved in that situation, if the claim has not been filed by the financial creditor or any creditor, the claim is gone. It will not be accepted. Yes. Number one. Second, once the liquidation starts, then the financial creditor, operational creditor will always have option to resubmit their claim. I hope that answers.
Right.
Yeah. I'll just take some questions from the chat also. Going back, please explain creditors in class once again. Okay. So Pankajji, basically what happens is in companies like PAN cards, which is just a very recent example, there are 51 lakh depositors. But these all together are financial creditors. But apart from them, there are other financial creditors also. For example, the banks, or any other financial institutions which would have lent money to PAN cards. So what they do is, if there is a specific class which has more than 10 number of financial creditors, they will create a group of that class and they will assign one specific IP as an AR, authorized representative, to that class. So that is called a class of creditors.
But in this case of PAN card, it means banks and other financial institutions will be a class of creditor.
No. One second. Banks, financial institution will be other financial creditors. Yes, okay. They will be other class of creditors. You can say that. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But always remember, class of creditors will include 10 or more than financial creditors of a similar category. Now,
it means
yeah, please go ahead.
It means if financial creditors are more than 10 in numbers, then they will be called as class of creditors.
No, that is not the case. Provided if there are a lot of financial creditors and you can define a class. Say, for example, in this case, as I'm taking, because this is a recent case, so it's easy to explain. For example, in case of PAN card, there is X bank, Y bank, Z bank. They all have given loan, right? Let's say there are a couple of NBFCs also which have given loan. There are other financial institutions which have given loan. All of them are independent, right? There is no consortium, number one. Second, all these financial creditors who are depositors, they have paid approximately 7,000 crore rupees. They have deposited 7,000 crore rupees with PAN cards. So imagine if you create a COC with 51 lakh people, number one. Second, with all these financial institutions, which includes banks, NBFCs, and others. So there will be approximately 51 lakh thousand, some few. So in this case, all these financial creators are part of one group. So they are more than 10, and hence a class is created. But other than that, they are not common. They are separate. Maybe Bank A would have given a loan of, let's say, 100 crores. Bank B would have given a loan of 50 crores, right? Bank A is a PSU, whereas Bank B is a private bank, as an example. So they will not be termed as one class, but these financial creators who are depositors, they will be termed as one class. I hope that helps, Pankaj.
Yeah, that is clear. This is clarified.
Great. When IRP continuing as RP, Form A need to be submitted. Absolutely. Whenever IRP continues to be RP, the consent has to be done. Any consent where you have to submit as to act as an RP, that is always in Form AA. And if it is IRP, it is Form 2. Moving on, to the extent it is ratified by COC. Absolutely right, Umaji. Lot of cases, sometimes if the public announcement is 50,000 rupees, maybe COC might agree, we will pay only 25,000 rupees. The balance 25,000 is the expense of the applicant. Vinayak ji is saying, can financial creditor jointly file for CRP? Can OC jointly file for CRP? So there is a very specific provision in IBC that financial creditors together, and there are case laws also. If two financial creditors together, the total default goes more than 1 crore, then yes, they together can file a CRP. But on the other hand, operational creditors, they cannot. So if I have to give it more specific example, if there are 5 operational creditors, let's say each one of them are owing 20 lakhs, together makes 1 crore, right? They together jointly say, chalo abhi CRP file karte hain. No, it is not allowed. Each of the operational creditors should have a default of more than 1 crore. Now, why does Act does that? Because eventually, if you see, the number of operational creditors is very, very high, right? There could be so many suppliers for goods and services. If you try to combine them, then all the companies eventually will end up in CIRP. So I hope it's clear, Vinayakanji.
Sir, here, just to clarify, financial creditors can join together if each one has, suppose, say 30 lakhs rupees each.
Yes,
and
they can.
Okay.
Yes, there is a very specific case law, and I'll put it on the group also. That specific case law for your reference.
Yeah, please. Because what we have understood so far is each financial creditor should be more than 1 crore.
No, that is not the case. Now, moving on to Ramayaji's question, you have mentioned earlier the IRP has to update the website of CD. If it is, what is the time period for updation of verification of the claim? So, in fact, in the CRP, there is a very specific provision. They have to update as and when the claim comes. See, this is very practical aspect. What happens is, as I mentioned in the last say that there are 14 days for the financial or all the creditors to give their claims. But some people might miss it also. So as per the law, the creditor has time till 90th day from ICD, insolvency commencement date, till the 90th day, approximately 3 months, they can submit the claims. IRP, RP has to keep updating this. But if you notice it properly, what happens is the moment a claim comes, the COC constitution will change. The moment COC constitution will change, the voting share will change. The moment voting share will change, any COC meeting will have an impact, right? Because somebody might have a voting share of 25%. Now, because there are more claims which have come in, the voting share might go down also. So those situations happen. In such situations, the IRP, RP has to keep updating, ensure that the COC constitution is updated. If there is a material change, he or she has to inform the educating authority as soon as possible, right? But very important point, it does not affect any of the decisions taken in the previous COC meeting. So they remain intact. I hope, Rameji, you are clear. Yes, resubmit. Understood. Yeah. Resubmit. What about submission fresh who missed at the time of resolution? Sorry, I am not able to understand this question. PAN card is like Ponzi scheme. Actually, it is similar to Club Mahindra, but I mean, they are saying that right now, PAN card is undergoing a lot of different case laws. For example, CFO has special investigation. I think SFI. Sorry, special fraud is investigating PAN cards. Then SEBI is investigating. A lot of other agencies are investigating PAN cards. So it is actually in a mess right now. I think Vinayakanji had a question. Vinayakanji, I can see you have raised your hand. Vinayakanji?
सर मैं पूछ रहा था सेक्शन 7 के अंदर कोई एप्लीकेशन लगी हुई है
हाँ सॉरी विनायक जी मैं आपको सुन नहीं पा रहा हूँ हेलो okay maybe Vinayak ji you can put your question on the group. I'll try to answer. Okay, any other last question? हाँ पवन जी बोलिए.
Sir, in case of financial creditor, जो claim submit करना है, in case of operational creditor तो आपने बता दिया, it can be electronic mode
7 में लगी हुई है और वो admin section.
Hello.
हाँ विनायक जी just 1 minute है, एक पवन जी का question complete कर दें, then we'll come back to you. हाँ पवन जी please बोलिए.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ, in case of operational creditor you have verified that claim can be submitted either by way of electronic mode or maybe personally or by courier. But in case of financial creditor, somebody claim has to be submitted in either of the mode or it has to be by personally or electronically only.
No. It's very clear by the law that they have to do it only by electronic. So an example of PAN cards. Today I got a call, somebody saying that I don't have any access to internet. What should I do? So I told him that you can take the physical copy of the form, fill it, but don't send it by post. You have to email it. So it has to come by electronically. That is, you cannot have any relaxation in that aspect.
And in case of financial creditor, they can be submitted within 14 days or up to 90 days also.
In case of, all the creditors are allowed up to 90 days. There is no specific bifurcation for which creditor up to 90 days.
Because आपने बताया ना कि इसमें बाद में voting percentage change हो जाता है.
हाँ,
So
तो operational credit का voting में impact नहीं होगा, पर financial creditor का होगा.
Correct. ठीक है, now I got it.
अगर फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर व्हाट्सएप से भेज दे
नहीं व्हाट्सएप नहीं
ओनली ईमेल
या ईमेल और जैसे मैंने आपको वेबसाइट दिखाया उसके थ्रू ही सबमिट कर सकते हैं. इनफैक्ट अभी बहुत ज्यादा सिस्टमैटिक हो गया है. ऑल दी CRPs आर रेगुलेटेड. वो वेबसाइट देयर आर स्पेशल एजेंसीज हु प्रोवाइड यू हेल्प इन doing all these aspects of claim acceptance, then sorting them, which helps the IRP to do all the claim verification.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Vinayakanji was asking a question. I'll just couple of more minutes because I have to get into another meeting. We'll just take Vinayakanji's question and then Vinayakanji.
I think Prakashji, rest of the questions can be asked in the group.
Sure, sir.
So it was really it was really a wonderful session. We thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For the practical inputs. Tomorrow we'll continue with the CIRP regulations. So with your permission, we are ending the meeting now.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir. Okay.